Hi, folks. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you all being here. I see we have Kimberly, Paula, Nina, Search and Support San Antonio, Nina, and Anastasia Rob. Thank you all for being here. And for everyone else who is here, before we get into the chat and all of those things that we're gonna get into, I want to take a few minutes to go over some basic information about missing persons. At any given time in the United States, there are tens of thousands of active missing persons cases. According to the National Crime Information Center, hundreds of thousands of missing persons reports are entered annually. The good news is the vast majority of these are resolved quickly. But the hard truth is that many are not. And some families wait years, even decades for answers. Some never get answers. So it's important to understand who goes missing. While high profile cases like this Guthrie case often dominate headlines, most missing persons are juveniles. Many involve runaways, custody disputes, or children leaving home due to conflict, abuse, or mental health struggles. But adults go missing too, as in the story tonight, under circumstances ranging from medical emergencies and mental health crises to domestic violence, trafficking, or foul play. Experts stress a critical point. You do not have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. That is a common myth. Law enforcement encourages immediate reporting, especially when a child, elderly individual, or vulnerable adult is involved. The first few hours can be critical. When filing a report, authorities recommend bringing a recent photograph, a detailed description, information about the clothing, known medical conditions, access to dental or fingerprint records if available. The more information you provide early on, the better. There are also national systems designed to help. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children assists with cases involving minors and operates a 24-hour hotline. The FBI supports cases that cross state lines and manages databases used nationwide. In cases involving endangered children, Amber Alerts may be issued to quickly mobilize the public. For families, for adults, families can request entry into national databases and may work with nonprofit advocacy groups that help raise awareness through social media and community outreach. It's also important for the public to know the difference between missing and endangered. Not every missing case meets the criteria for a public alert, but every report is or should be taken seriously. Law enforcement should evaluate risk factors such as age, medical needs, suspicious circumstances, or known threats. Technology has changed investigations in recent years. Cell phone data, surveillance cameras, license plate readers, and digital footprints often play a critical role. But privacy laws and investigative protocols can limit what information is shared publicly during active cases, which is something that can be frustrating for families seeking updates. And prevention matters. Staying connected with loved ones, especially teens and elderly relatives, discussing online safety, and checking in on individuals struggling with mental health can all make a difference. If you believe someone is missing, contact your local law enforcement agency immediately. Immediately. For missing children, you can also contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Behind every statistic is a family waiting for answers. Awareness, timely reporting, and community vigilance can help bring more missing loved ones home. So that's my little spiel about missing persons and things that seem important for people to know. So I wanted to share that. So thank you all for being here. I see there's quite a few messages right now, and holy cow, that's. Let's see. Paula's here. I'm here. April is here. Kimberly says Paula's story is very heartbreaking. Yes, and it's that there is that suspense. There's that not knowing is brutal. Courtney says it shouldn't be this way. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. We try to be fair, but it really seems like law enforcement didn't do what they could have done. The storyteller went and bought luminol. That's crazy. How was that not a thing? There was suspicious circumstances. Courtney says socioeconomic status and race play a part in exposure. That needs to be changed. We have to put everyone out there. Everyone deserves to be found. I kind of feel like socioeconomic status is really it, and that race is a low secondary to being famous or being wealthy or both. Anastasia Robb says, I'm so sorry. Paula says one must be dire, persistent with law enforcement. Yeah, that's a consistent thing that we're seeing with all of the stories that involve any kind of criminal issue. You have to be a nuisance, for lack of a better term. You have to kind of harass law enforcement into devoting the amount of attention to the case that you feel like it's worth, that it should be worth. April says prayers for you and your mom. Courtney says, yes, I know it's got to be exhausting. I wish it weren't like this for you. Yeah, that not knowing thing. The term we talked about it last time we did a live after one of the missing stories. Ambiguous loss. That's that seems like a whole different kind of painful. Paula says, I learned so much from this and I have total faith and belief in the Lord. And In faith, there is strength. Clearly. Search and Support San Antonio says, yes, the not knowing is just cruel. Courtney says, excruciating. And April, gosh. Thank you very much, April. That means a lot. It really does. It has, it's way cool. That, I think it's great. Thank you. Poly, polynomials. Paula and her sister Juanita are so strong and courageous and so resilient. A reflection of Pauline. Clearly, uh, that's a great insight. That's a great, insightful kind of perspective to share. To recognize that mom made them this way. You know, April says, with anything, local law enforcement sucks. So I feel like I've we at Texas Pictures have worked with law enforcement for a long time. As long as we've existed, we've been in business for almost 19 years, and we've been working with law enforcement the whole time. The Houston Police Department has been one of our clients all 19 years. Haven't done anything for them in the last few years, but we haven't done anything for anyone in the last few years. We've been tied up with YouTube. So, but what I found is some law enforcement are what you said. What was it you said? Some law enforcement sucks. Yeah, and it varies. It varies by officer. Here's the thing: law enforcement agencies draw from the same pool of potential employees as all the other companies, and that pool of potential employees has lazy people, morons swimming in the pool too. Sometimes they get by. The law enforcement that I've worked with, for the most part, have been spectacular. They're doing the right things for the right reasons, and they're motivated. But you have to keep in mind, uh, we're like a media company. Law enforcement that we work with are law enforcement officers that we're assigned to, and you got to think command staff knows who's the right ones to assign us to, and that there's some that they think, no, we don't want a camera with that guy. So perhaps, but our experience with law enforcement, working with them, not dealing with them as a customer, not dealing with them as some kind of victim of a crime, but as a uh, as a vendor. Our experiences have been overwhelmingly positive. So let me try to catch up. Then it doesn't take a top tier detective to see how suspicious this is. That's for sure, Courtney. It doesn't take it. It just takes a motivated daughter. Evidently, she found evidence. She made things happen. She made noise. She didn't make noise, nothing would have happened. They wouldn't have even found the pig skull. She got a private detective involved. Search and Support San Antonio says the viewers decide what they want to see, and the press media goes with it. Well, gee, Nina, you're right. Here's the thing about press and media, and I suppose it works that way for us as well. That I guess, but for the press and the media, the national media, the broadcast media, all of that. Think about what their product is. Their product is not their content. Their product is not news or what is it CNN says? News and analysis? Analysis. It'd be just as accurate to say news and speculation. Probably more accurate. News and speculation. And most of it seems like speculation. When you're looking at a news report, you're seeing 3 windows across the screen with different experts or retired whatevers. They're not, that's not news. That's speculation. That's people talking about their theories about whatever topic. You can tell by the questions that come from the anchor or the host or whatever. If the question begins with, what do you think? Whatever follows is not fact, but opinion, speculation. Anyway, I digress. So, anyway, the news media's product is not their content. It is not the news. Their product is their viewers because they sell their viewers to advertisers. And they have to do that to stay in business, to stay sustainable, to stay on the air. If they don't earn something, it's necessary. But ultimately, their product is not news. Their product is you, the viewer, all of us. All right, so, wow, just going off on rants. Yes, and then I figured out you meant the viewers, not he viewers. Courtney, you're right. It's a different brand of grief. Why did Paulo's mom go missing for so long? Kimberly asks. There's no answer. There's suspicion. There's things that the evidence implies, but there's no answers. You just found the button. Okay, then. Well, good job. Kimberly says, I know God is going to help Paula find her beautiful mom. Paula says, every year my husband, I, oh, my husband, SASSA, which is Search and Support San Antonio Search and Support, have gathered new evidence and information. We believe we are extremely close to have the case reviewed again with the new district attorney who will be elected this year. Elected, reelected. If he will be elected, He's not the new one yet, but anyway, we can figure that out. I see an error in the video. In this video right now. I'm not going to tell you. So, is it the red tape getting permission to continue a case? Is the red tape getting permission? Do detectives have to push? I don't know. They should push. This isn't like some interruption from their normal duties. This is their normal duties. April says, I'm talking about the detectives and local law enforcement. Sorry, my apologies, but they have failed so many of us more often than not. Texas is a different breed of law enforcement. Probably not. Probably not. We've worked with law enforcement all over the country. We've dealt with law enforcement in Newport Richey, Florida. Law enforcement in Kansas, Missouri, Maryland, New Mexico, Albuquerque, Anchorage, Alaska, Tennessee, and others. We'll just say others because I'm not remembering them all. But we've done a lot. Done a lot with one of our clients has been Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and they have had us working with law enforcement. We've done some content that is for roll call meetings with law enforcement, and that involved interviewing officers in a lot of different locations that just it escapes me. Oh, Idaho. So they are. It's my experience that they are pretty consistent in terms of how they interact with us. Now, how they interact with us might be different from how they interact with the general public. It could be. 'Cause we're in a position to make them look good or not so good. And so maybe we get treated special. Maybe. But I don't think so. I haven't seen evidence of that. And in the course of working with the officers we work with, we interact with other officers when we're on a crime scene or some kind of location, a car crash, whatever, and we see how other officers work, and you can get a feel for where the person's spirit is. And there's a lot of spectacular officers out there. There's morons too, just like with any profession. They're human. We actually have a series on our channel called American Peace Officer, and the whole point behind that series is to humanize law enforcement. Cops have stories, and they all have stories about some sort of experience that's happened on the job that has stayed with them through the years. Some are incredible victories, some are incredible tragedies, but whatever, they're important stories. They're stories that matter. They're human stories. So I digress. April says, "You don't mess with Texas usually, but why do families have to do all the work? It's extremely difficult and sad." Yeah, it shouldn't be that way. Totally agree. Totally agree. There's never been a time when law enforcement didn't claim to be overworked, underfunded, underpaid, understaffed. That's how agencies grow. And so they're just not, law enforcement agencies aren't going to come out and say uh, crime rates are down. There's no money in that. There's no there's no reason to increase the funding for an agency if they say, we're done. We're kind of finished. We took care of all the crime, and it's better now. And then what happens? So, what's the law enforcement chain that gets resources for cases? Law enforcement chain. You mean like the chain you rattle? I think the real key is just persistence. It is continuing to check in with the officers, ask about progress, point things out, motivate them, and you don't have to be confrontational. You don't have to be angry. It can be a positive thing. Uh, Positive goes a long way. I think that how does that go? The bee doesn't waste time explaining to the fly why honey is better than poop. Yeah, I don't know that that even fits, but I like the message there. I think that's good. I think you can be supportive of the officer investigating the case and motivate them to want to bring you good news that way. Nina says, Search and Support says, yes, she is, and very kind too. We all love her. She is also our team's missing persons advocate. Kimberly says, Paula, you're in a beautiful support group here. You are. You are. There is a lot of overlap between the different stories that we cover. There is overlap between fentanyl and addiction recovery. And there's overlap between human trafficking and addiction recovery. And there's overlap in terms of what the grief can feel like between fentanyl and missing persons, cannabis induced psychosis. So there's a lot of crossover. Now and then we wind up with a story that goes into playlists for more than one topic because there's crossover. Paula says we believe it's more of a political issue. The current DA is very selective in what cases he wants to pursue. Now, that's a thing that I have heard of before. Whoa. Okay. I appear to be quite behind. Wow. Uh, spoken. Okay, I don't even know how to say that name. Spooky Spooky Mig 22. Thank you, Mr. Glenn, for this amazing film production. It's great to see this information out on the YouTube platform. New subscriber, and we'll pass on the word. Well, thank you. We're very grateful for every subscriber, every viewer, every bit of attention that we can bring to topics like this, the missing persons, human trafficking, fentanyl poisoning, addiction recovery, domestic violence, cannabis induced psychosis, all of these things. They are all vitally important. They are all stories that matter. And I feel so completely blessed to be in a position where I'm able to do something that helps a bit. Surgeon Support says 100% agree, Glenn. I don't know how long ago that was put there, so I don't really know what you're agreeing with, but I'll take it. And Brad is here. Welcome, Brad. Always awesome to see you here and know that you're not already asleep. When are you coming through Oklahoma City? Maybe, maybe soon. We have some new inquiries. We had someone from what I what is the capital of Oklahoma? Is that Oklahoma City? No, I don't. I don't know. Okay, uh, Paula, we are here and care for you, says Kimberly. Former DA is not running for reelection. Okay, I understand. So, regardless of who gets elected, is going to be a new one. And maybe there would be some value to making the case a topic with the candidates. I don't know. That might be kind of tough because neither candidate could use the case as a way to point at the failure of the other, since both of them, or however many candidates there are new. So there's nothing to point out, maybe. Nina says, Paula is our inspiration. Yeah, she's very strong. There's this wonderful determination to how she goes about dealing with all of this. How do they determine cases, get resources? Where is the kink in the hose? What level of law enforcement is determining what cases get resources? It is, I believe, the squeaky wheel. More than anything, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. part of in the case of the Guthrie case that gets all of this media attention, it's quite a squeaky wheel because the media is asking law enforcement, what's up with the case? What's up with the case? Just constantly. And so they're being the squeaky wheel. The Guthrie case is also so fresh, so urgent, and so I don't I don't know how to. Okay, sorry, having a little technical problem here. There we go. Okay, we got it now. Better now, and there goes the dogs. How about that? All right, and so yeah, there's also evidence in the Guthrie case that violence had taken place, and there's the implication that a life is urgently at risk. April says, you know what I'm talking about as far as the poisonings and missing people. Funny, they're finding so many children that have been missing in these huge takedowns. Finally. Yeah, that's a thing. I guess you guys can hear one of the dogs. They're barking because they're trying to prove something. I don't know. But they're at it. April says, yeah, I did that. Okay. There's been several crazy busts with so many missing children lately, especially throughout Florida, with 30 plus children at a time. For that, I'm grateful. Nina says, we like this, Paula. This is your new nickname. Soaring Eagle. Soaring Eagle. It sounds like a Native American name, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Speaking of which, sometime this year, I believe we're going to be in Arizona doing missing stories in in involving Native Americans. There's a lot of those, a lot of missing stories, and the complaint we're hearing from from the area is they don't get any attention. We're not saying they don't get any attention. We're saying that's what people are telling us. It's a difference. Search and Sports says, we like this, Paul. Yeah, I read that already, didn't I? You got to understand the display that I'm looking at here isn't so easy to navigate. It's similar to what you're seeing, probably, but there's also a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Kimberly says, God told me to call her Spirit Soaring Eagle. That's cool. Paula says, my spirit bird is SASSA. Brad says, what are your thoughts on the State of the Union address? I don't know. It all seemed pretty predictable. The responses all seemed completely predictable. It kind of makes me sad. Really, it's not what it used to be. It's not what it should be, and it's not us. It's not what we're capable of. It's juvenile. Not standing for anything is juvenile. Standing for everything is also juvenile. And the ones who never stand and the ones who always stand just switch whenever the administration changes to the other party. What does that accomplish? It's all it's all a show. And it's sad. Didn't used to work that way. In my lifetime, it didn't work that way. In the 80s, it didn't work that way. In the 90s, it didn't work that way. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse. There's a great animation sequence that shows voting habits from the 90s up to 2022 or something, and how sometimes a Republican would vote with a Democrat or a Democrat would vote with a Republican, and there was crossover because they agree with the bill, the law, the whatever. That doesn't happen anymore. Why? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way. It doesn't make sense for it to be that way. I have been in a room with senators not on, not being political, where they're just being a couple of guys, and everything's different. Party doesn't matter anymore. They talk to each other. They talk to each other in a friendly way. They talk to each other in a respectful, friendly, even sometimes close to affectionate kind of way. As long as there's no cameras, as long as we get a show. Everyone, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, April. Good job, April. I appreciate that. Yeah, we did. Paula did. You get more with honey. Yeah, yeah. Be nice to the officers. If you bring him cookies, donuts might be insulting, but if you bring him cookies and say, "Oh, by the way, how's the case with my missing loved one?" I don't know, but being nice tends to be better. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it's heartbreaking that it doesn't always work. Courtney is also on our team, and today she is here to support our Paula. Says search and support, also known as Nina. Kimberly says the reason I call you Spirit Soaring Eagle, Paula, is I am Cherokee tribe, and that is my Native American Spirit Soaring Eagle. Courtney says, thank you for your devotion to others who also need support, Paula. And Paula says, yes. My team is a wonderful, unique, and rare group. Love them. Courtney is also on our team today. She's here to support Paula. Nice cup. I have the same on my desk. You have this cup on your desk? Do you? Is that what you're saying? I I I think I'm gonna need a tissue. That's awesome. And on the back it says stories that matter. Right. It's from our store. We have a merchandise store. There's a link on our website. It's weird to me to have a store. Wasn't my idea. We have a store because our YouTube partner manager told us we should have a store. So we have a store. It's not much to it. Kimberly says, Glenn, you're a blessing among the multitude. Well, thank you, Kim. Courtney says, I'm here, Paula. I have physical limitations that keep me in bed, but I will do what I can from here until I'm back on my feet. I like researching. There's something a little enviable about having that kind of. It's like a snow day. If you're confined for a while, but you have stuff you really want to get into, then seems kind of like a snow day. Maybe it's just me thinking, and I don't know what to tell you about the dogs. April says Brad thinks they should fire Democrats for not standing up. How ignorant he found the cure for cancer, they still would hate him. So crazy to me. He's not playing. I'm grateful. I'm not sure I understood all of that, April, but that's all right. April says Tulsa is the capital. Is Tulsa? Is it? Is it Tulsa? What's? I don't know. Anyway, Paula is part. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. Part Yaqui. Okay. Brad agrees with April. Okay. Tulsa is Native American reservation. Good questions, Paula. That's an idea. Okay, Paula. Glenn, you use great analogies. Well, I try analogies like being like a rat on a Cheeto, like Oprah on a baked ham, like Biden on a flight of stairs. April says, You're welcome, Paula. That's why we're here to support each other, to support each storyteller on this channel. Yeah, our storytellers are kind of like royalty for us, and they're always our first priority. They have to be. They have to be. We're in this sweet spot where the 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 revenue from YouTube advertising makes all the series sustainable. We have no sponsors, no clients, no grants, no funding of any kind other than what comes from the advertising, from viewers. And that is a spectacular spot to be in as a journalist because we're not accountable to anyone except the audience, you guys, and the storyteller. And so we don't have any interference. We have minimal interference. It's a wonderful place. There's a camera operator for a news crew that covered us recording stories in Virginia, and I was talking to the camera guy because we 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 do that. We get together, and I tend to gravitate toward the camera guy when there's a news crew, and we wind up talking it up, and he said he's jealous of where we are because of that. So pretty cool. So Paula says we had Texas Rangers, Wilson County, and Bear County. For those of you who don't know, Bexar is pronounced bear. Just so you know, it's a Texas thing. Oh, huh. I'll have to look this up. The governor signed Rain's bill today. Awesome. Awesome job. Carla. Is Carla here? Did I see a comment from Carla and I missed it? It could be. It happens. I read kind of slow. Governor signed Rain's bill. Is that Brad? Do you know Jake Beasley? Facebook name is Jake Beasley. He wants us to come to Oklahoma. Is it about the same law? How about that? Courtney says, and we're bombarding you with comments, Clint. Yeah, that's okay. That's cool. Sometimes it gets kind of challenging to sit here and come up with things to talk about because, well, it's just me, and I try to have some sort of idea of things to talk about initially. Like when we started today, I gave you a little spiel about missing persons. And so long day for me today. Yeah, they're all long days. I was yes, the live chat is busy today. Yeah, okay, so there is a on the display that I have here, there's a display that says chat rate. And right now it says 3. It was at 1 just a minute ago. And I've seen it as high as 7. But I have no idea what it means. I worked in elections in the 90s, and it wasn't like today at all. It's hilariously sad today. Yeah, it is. You know, at the Republican and Democratic national conventions, there used to be some friction. There used to be some argument. Friction means something is being accomplished. That's an engineering thing. And so there is no friction at the Democratic and Republican conventions. All of the things that would generate friction get sorted out before the convention, which pretty much eliminates the value of the convention, the point of bringing everyone together. It's just a prime time 2 hour long commercial that runs for several nights. Kind of crazy. Thank you. What's going on? Where is it? Is it down there? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's true, Glenn. Paula, I don't know which that tree you're talking about. Yes, the live chat is busy today. Indeed, juvenile. Good observation, because it's all about money. That is the thing. There was entertainment value to the conventions before, certainly before 2010, probably before 2000. There was entertainment value in the friction, discussion, argument. If two people always agree, one of them isn't necessary. April says, "Who got a cup?" I haven't given away any cups. Well, one. I've given away one cup like this for a very special person, and that's all. Because they're ridiculously expensive, but it's because they're self cleaning. As long as you just drink black coffee, you never have to wash it. See, it looks clean. Nina is relentless at heart, and so is all of our team and partners. Yeah, I certainly believe that. It is very impressive. The things that I saw when I was in San Antonio during y'all's event were, oh, Nina, that chokes me up. I love the cup. I do. And I don't know. It does something good for me. Anyway, thank you very much. Nina is relentless at heart. Oh, I love that. How do we shop at your store? Will you deliver me one when I see you in Tennessee? April? No. Oh, I might, I might, I might have something for you, maybe. But our store, there is a link on our web page, not on our channel, not on Facebook, on our website. There's a link to our store, and in our store, you can find a bunch of stuff. Well, not a bunch, but there's hoodies. There's a hoodie with a zipper. I call it the Bradley, but it's not officially named that. And t-shirts and sweatshirts and coffee mugs. And the link is on the homepage, on the Texas Pictures homepage, texas-pictures.com. If you give the graphic that's right here, if you give this graphic a minute, it'll change to our website for a moment. And so anyway, Paula says, "Thank you, Glenn Muse. Never forget the reviving impact you make for our voiceless loved ones." Lila says not Tulsa. Is it not Tulsa? As in, that's not the capital. Is it Oklahoma City? Glenn, I was talking to Brad about the State of the Union address. So I was speaking about Trump. I call Trump frog lips. Ah. And Paula says, yucky. Biden on a flight of stairs. You were right in Oklahoma City. You're right. Is Oklahoma City the capital of Oklahoma? Sorry, I was way off. Geez, I must need some coffee. Yeah, coffee's wonderful. Coffee. Yeah, yeah. Yes, indeed. Getting funding is extremely difficult. It's a different kind of thing for us. We have the we're in a spot where we're able to, and the funding comes from viewers. Kind of sort of works the same way as PBS, I suppose. That our content is made possible by viewers. How how cool is that? Kimberly, I'll agree to disagree. You must know the good he's doing to protect our country, but let's not do politics. And you and me, I'll get upset with you about him. Okay. Yeah. I see, friction means something is being accomplished. We should all be able to talk. We should be able to talk about politics without resorting to how we interacted with people we disagreed with in middle school. We ought to be able to do that. We ought to be able to express different opinions and then move on and treat each other like humans, treat each other with respect, recognize that there are different perspectives out there, that a core foundation for the American Constitution is that very thing: free speech, freedom to assemble. And the ultimate goal of that is everyone becomes more informed. So, Justin Roper. So, okay, Justin Roper, like you put on one, okay. So I'm assuming that's boots. I have a few pairs of boots, mostly Lucchese's. It's a fit thing. I say mostly Lucchese's. I can also say most of them are over 20 years old, still in great shape. Yes, we are relentless. Paula says we are relentless and we're trying to keep things. Don't quit. Brad says, Carla? Carla's here. We were talking about you earlier, Carla. Missed it. Missed it. We're talking about this mug right here. Hmm. $7, Glenn. What are you talking about, April? April? The mug $7? That'd be awesome. I don't I don't think so though. Because when the company makes these mugs, they make them one at a time. They don't make a batch. Eventually, at some point, we will order a batch, and we really need to revamp the store. There is a discount code I can tell you guys about. Thank you, April. Governor Stitt signed Rain's Law today. It is official. That's wonderful. Congratulations, Carla. That's great. How much are the hoodies with zippers? I don't know. I feel like it's around $45. I think I should probably get one. Well, the store. I think it's cool. There's been a couple of times when someone has been at one of our summits and they have something from our store, and that's cool. That's it's touching, very very flattering, and I'm grateful. Kimberly says, Brad, congratulations, you and Carla. Hey, Carla, da, 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 da. Brad, thank you. I think it is Oklahoma City. All right. So can nobody confirm what the capital of Oklahoma is? I think it's Oklahoma City. I think. Agree to disagree. Grown-ups can do that. They can. It seems like that is not the case when it comes to members of Congress. But that is an illusion that's just for the general public. When congressional representatives from both sides of the aisle are together off camera, they get along just fine. Okay. Well, Justin, thanks for joining us. My thoughts went elsewhere. Hey, Boots, thank you so much, Nina. Hello. Glad you're here. I hope you keep joining us for the live events. The next one will probably be either Friday or Saturday, and our next story will be a fentanyl story. The first story from our summit in Alabama. The storyteller is actually from Pensacola, Florida, but it's an interview we recorded in Alabama. Oh, so evidently Nina knows Justin. Okay. No, not $7 for a cup. You saw a $7 pop up the same time Justin donate. Oh, thank you. I I don't feel like I can scroll back. Activity stream results. Let's see. Activity. Oh, look at there. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Kimberly says it is Oklahoma City. I was pretty sure. Is there a discount code for the hoodies? Yes, there is. There is a discount code in general. Let me I really like to get caught up, but then I'm going to have nothing to say. But I will get the discount code. When am I coming through? I don't know, but I think that there's some Jake Bleasy. Do you know this guy, Carly? You know this guy, Jacob. We've been talking with him about coming there to do something about a new law. You know, I think that I might find my son Troy on my Facebook page 2 weeks ago. Well, that's interesting. Megan's story. No, I don't know. I don't. I am terrible with names, and huh, oh boy, Megan Gonzalez. Is that a murder case, Paula, or Nina? Is that a murder case? Is that an unsolved murder case, or is it a missing case? Eddie Gonzalez, search and support. Yes, yes, it's a murder case, or yes, it's a missing case. Oh, look, I'm caught up. I can go get that discount code. Unsolved murder case. Yeah, we have two of those, and soon. That's about the best I can do right now. Our next story is going to be a fentanyl story. We've been behind on those because we haven't had any any fentanyl related summits in a while, and you know we're kind of recovering from the holidays still. The slowdown that happens because it's the holidays. That's what we're seeing now here in January and February. Missing and murder unsolved. There's two. There's this one and Javante. You missed a few posts not too far back. If I miss something, help me out. You know, just repeat it, please, just so that I can get to it. And let me just grab this and pull this over here, and we're gonna go to. Hmm, let me see if I can find the right link to get the. Oh, that's not it. Hmm. Yeah, I see. It appears that the coffee cups have gone up. Both are unsolved murder cases. You talked to both at the event. Yeah, yeah. I remember. I remember. I think Javante right now. I feel like Javante is in front of Megan. I don't know if the storyteller has sent any pictures or not. I'm not saying that they haven't. Here we go. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to get the discount code for you guys if you want to. Oh, come on. And I have to log in again. So it's frustrating. I can tell you the store is. So I am just logging in. And what I'm doing right now is I am getting the. Uh, I don't know where to find out. Okay, fine. Sorry, folks. I'm looking. Promotions. There we are. Okay. All right. So the promo code. The promo code is live, guys. This is the promo code for our store. Live, guys. Okay, it's supposed to get you a discount of 25%, which is the highest discount that we can offer. So if I go back to what we were talking about, range line, Jake Bleasy, and funding, how hard it is. Yeah, okay. What did I miss? Did I miss something? Yes, we are relentless and keep trying. Hello, everyone. April Smith, so amazing and awesome. Carla, no, Glenn, Jake is doing Leo's Law for the babies and DCS testing for parents for fentanyl when they have an open case. I believe it was passed today also. Carla knows Jake. Okay. Is that maybe what I missed? Perhaps. I hope that's it, or I'll have to go back again. But anyway, here we are now. And we have been here for 80 minutes right now. So we will be wrapping it up soon. Some, it seems. Ah, sorry, I got distracted by the news. Right around where we do. Okay, if you haven't, reach out to you both. You missed a few posts. What else have I missed? If there's stuff that I missed, let me know, and I'll address it. Uh, things get by me. We had a lot of chats going on, a lot of messages, and I got on tangents. So as far as the way the schedule works for our channel, we try to publish a new story every other day. And we try to do a live event like this at least once a week, at least every Monday evening, and usually at least one more time during the week. But that kind of varies a lot. It depends on what else going on, if we're on the road, if we're in town, what's happening. So what's coming up is a storytelling summit in Memphis, Tennessee. There's probably going to be one in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And there's talk of a storytelling summit in North Carolina where we focus on impaired driving. The summit will be open to any topic on our channel, but we're expanding, or maybe expanding uh, maybe we're expanding. It's not really expanding because we've done a lot of content related to impaired driving before, but we're going to do more. We've always been open to it, and it seems like stories about impaired drivers are really critical because they're one of those stories. Those stories are much like the fentanyl stories. That it's a lot of times it's an out of the blue thing that you never expected. In fact, maybe on the next live, I will show you guys like a 3-minute video about a car crash that I was in a while back. You talked to Josephine as well. Brad says I'm missing posts. Yeah, well, it happens. If I miss something, Brad, you'll have to take another shot. And I'm sure if it was from you, Brad, I'm sure it's gold. So both are unsolved murder cases. You talked to both at our event. Yeah, we have two. That's correct. We have two. Javante. Is that Amande? I have it here somewhere close by. I know. I do. Monday started out as a missing case. Robin was a storyteller, I think. If I remember right, if I got any of those names right, that's pretty awesome for me. So April's asking live guys, all caps, and where do I put the promo code in trying to order my cup? I want to be like you, Carla. And search and support San Antonio search and support. Well, I believe you put the discount code in when you check out. There ought to be some sort of blank to put in the discount code. And like around the time you're done with making your selection and stuff. Nina says, "Oh wow, there's actually 3. I forgot about Miss Kennedy." So you have like 3 unsolved cases stories coming up. Do I? I don't doubt you. I don't believe I can look right now. Miss Kennedy, is that Robin? Okay. Could be 3. We need a little bit different format, I think, for the thumbnail. If you think of the graphic that we use for thumbnails to get that recognition over time for the audience, that when they see that design with that background and that combination, they immediately recognize it as a specific kind of story on our channel. There should be a consistency between all the stories for a specific topic. And so our unsolved murder stuff isn't missing persons, but it's similar. So probably we will take the thumbnail design for still missing and change the word still missing to unsolved murder, or maybe something else. Open ideas. Josephine, Eddie, and Robin. Did I? I talked to them. Okay. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Talk to. Hmm. Brad asks, how is traffic in Houston? Traffic in Houston is awesome. It really should get some sort of award because traffic works so well. You should come on down and see for yourself. You will be in awe. And if you do come down, or when you come down, let's be optimistic and positive here. When you come down, there's a restaurant that's on the bay, Galveston Bay. We're gonna go there. It's an awesome place. Wonderful, wonderful setting, wonderful food, seafood. Someone so landlocked, you probably appreciate all that. So cool. So we will get the we will get the stories as soon as we can. We have to mix our content according to what we have to work with, between fentanyl stories and other topics like addiction recovery, missing, unsolved murders, and whatever else we have. We have to mix it in a way that is interesting to the audience. And then also, some of it just depends on which editor gets something ready first. That some of our content, we have we have 3 editors who help with the editing, and then they send it back to me, and then I make a pass through it just to have this control issue, and then it gets published. And so depends on which story that's in the hands of an editor gets back to us first. Plus, what's been happening on our channel. Like we've had 3 missing stories in a row, and it's a new series for us, so that makes great sense. I felt like to have 3 in a row to kind of really reinforce the importance of this new series. So that was the logic. But it is about time to wrap things up. Are there any fun? Oh, there was a Linda of Hood Camp, Linda Hood Camp. Hello, you have a wonderful channel and helping people. I just found your channel about a couple of days ago. Great work from Linda in New York. Thank you, Linda. It's great to hear from you. Thank you for joining us for the live. We do these we do these every Monday night and then virtually every Monday night. And then usually at least once during the week other than the Monday night. And so I hope you can join us for more because we are about to wrap this one up. The the content on our channel, Linda, I don't know what content you've seen, but I hope you make it to the playlist section where you can see all of our content in a pretty organized kind of way. Because there is the fentanyl series, there's human trafficking, domestic violence, cannabis-induced psychosis, missing persons, addiction recovery, impaired driving, and the series American Peace Officer. That's cool. Viola, thanks for joining us. Hit the thumbs up, please. Good evening, everyone. So thanks for being here, Viola, and thanks for all of you folks who are here just listening in, just watching and learning. And so, where are we at here? So, is there any other questions anyone would like to ask me before we wrap things up here? Any questions about our channel or about our topics or storytelling summits or any of that? I will be back here again in the next few days. The fentanyl story it's going to be next. It'll be our first fentanyl story in a couple of weeks. So we will probably have a live with that just because it's been a while since we've had a fentanyl story. And so we'll look forward to doing that. And it'll probably happen. It'll either be Friday or Saturday. There's something in my head telling me to think Saturday, but I'm not sure. Alice Hernandez, thank you for being here. I appreciate you joining us. But we are about to wrap it up, so I hate to say hello and see you later, but we are about to wrap it up. We have been here over 90 minutes now, and so I do not see a spot of it. I'll try a different browser. Yeah, sorry you're having trouble with the discount code, April. When will I be back in San Antonio? Well, San Antonio is pretty easy. It's close, and so we can come if you guys want to organize a summit, we can do that. We can come back to San Antonio and record more missing person stories, and if it's a summit, we need space. Same kind of space we had at the church. Enough space. We need a space to do the interviews that is large enough to accommodate a full size SUV and still open the doors. And And it needs to be a quiet enough space where we can record video, where we can record interviews. And then there needs to be an adjacent space where people can wait, fill out forms and hang out and maybe drink coffee. Pretty cool how long I made that coffee last. And that's really it. We can schedule the summit and then announce it in our Texas Pictures Storytellers group on Facebook. And have people sign up. The ideal the ideal for our summits is to have 2 days of shooting, at least 6 interviews per day. That's the ideal. And the topics can vary. Fentanyl, missing persons, human trafficking, domestic violence, cannabis induced psychosis, cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. Those are the stories. Uh, and impaired driving. Yes, the church will work fine. It is an interesting dynamic because it's, it's actually two churches, two different denominations. And it was awesome. Anyway, we can make it happen virtually anytime we're available. It looks like next month we're in Memphis, Tennessee. After that, uh, April we may be in Georgia, and then May, North Carolina. And at some point in all of that, we're probably going to be going to Baton Rouge and maybe going to Oklahoma City. We'll see. But so you're welcome to give me a call, message me, whatever, and we have the honk for the missing in September 2026. Honk for the missing. Now, okay, so as a video guy who's recording interviews, the idea of people honking all over the place. No. If we're recording interviews, we don't want people honking. I'm sorry. Anyway, I digress. But I want to thank all of you guys for being here. We're going to have to wrap it up for now. It is time to say goodnight. So I want to remind you folks that we're here for you. We are really here for you. I'm so grateful to be doing this kind of work and to be in a place where I'm able to. I've met so many wonderful people, and to see the this this desire to be in the world, to be part of the community, to be part of the solution, to share, to help others. We see so much beauty coming out of tragedy. It's an awesome place to be. So I'm grateful to you guys. Very, very grateful. And I see April has ordered her coffee cup. It is on the way. Thank you and God night. Good night. Yeah, yeah. I would have figured that out on my own, but thank you. So thank you all for being here. And as I was saying before, we're here for you. Feel free to reach out with us. Reach out to us anytime if you want to talk about making a summit happen in your area, share your story. If you want to be a part of our Facebook group, it's a private group. You have to be invited. But there's several people in the chat right now who are in the group who can invite you. Alice Hernandez, thank you for being here. I'm just trying to make sure I covered everybody I should cover. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. But thank you very much for being here. So to reach out to us anytime, you're welcome to email us at info@texas-pictures.com. You can find us on Facebook under my name, Glenn Muse, and under the company name, Texas Pictures. And you can learn more about us on our website, texas-pictures.com, where you can find information about how to share your story, about how to set up a storytelling summit, a link to our merchandise site, and more information like mailing address, phone number, all that kind of cool stuff. All the typical things you'd expect to find on a website. So, again, thank you all for joining us, and we will talk to you guys next time. Good night, folks.